There we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Gray Beards. I'm Wayne. To
I'm
my
Buzz,
got Bub, aka Ernie, and my good
aka.
friend. Good morning,
hmm
sir.
Hey, good morning to you, man.
Yeah, it's always great to see your smiling face.
Can't help it, man. What the heck? I can see
I don't know
myself.
what you. I don't
I'm on
you.
the I'm on the cross smiling. They're like, we just crucified this dude. Still smiling.
I know, right?
I
Um,
can't help it, man. I don't know what it is.
that's crazy. How after your devastating beat down yesterday with Georgia, unfortunately for you. You still could wake up
Yeah.
this morning, got a smile on your face.
Well, hey, that's part of the game. You know what I'm
It is part
saying?
of the game. Someone's going to win, someone's going to lose.
You got to be honest. When it comes to sports, or whatever, you root for. This is the kind of fan I am. I root for my team. I want Georgia to win every game if
Absolutely.
possible. I want Dallas to win, but you got to be realistic too. I see
You
some
do.
flaws with my team. I see flaws with both my teams.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, I put it on the little feed that we got, and I said, "Hey, Georgia starts out slow, and it could be disastrous because you're playing a team that's balanced both on defense and offense, and it yielded those results."
Yeah, you're
Same
right.
thing with my Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? And their owner, Jerry, I know you're tired of people talking about you, boy. But you're making some serious mistakes for his managing, trying to be a GM and an owner. You need to turn that over to somebody else. And
Well, I mean,
and
and he has had some phenomenal coaches in the past, phenomenal coaches, and he
Mhm.
blames them for their ills, right?
It's him. He's
They're
the
like, all
problem.
right, you're fired, you know. Then he finds some other fool to jump in there and
Yeah.
deal with them. I mean, let's face it. I
Folks.
always tell you, it's funny. Talking about the Cowgirls, we'll talk a little bit about
Yeah.
them. Kyle and I were watching a video of you've had some really close games where it just didn't go their way, you know,
Right.
and important games too. We're not just talking any run of the mill game where it's just like you missed a field goal, you lost the game, right?
Mhm.
Some catches, some things. And it was just, I enjoyed watching it because, as you know, I am not a Cowgirls fan whatsoever. Um,
Yeah.
and I blame it on, I mean, it's only because, our last Super Bowl meeting, you guys beat us. So,
And in our last meeting in the regular season as
and
well.
in our last meeting in the regular season,
Yeah.
which should never have happened. I don't know where, but it did, right?
Yeah.
Is
hmm
I tucked tail and I sucked it up, went in the office, had to listen to dent, dent, dent. Them Cowboys are in town. Still hurting, are you? Yeah.
Still hurting.
But it's part of
Track.
the game. That's why people watch it, right?
Yeah, that's part of that's what make our nation great, man. We got something. We need that.
Yeah.
You need that. I mean, in your society, competition. You root for this team, you root for that team. You got personal pride in your team. And hey, man, sometimes y'all get the best. Uh, Sometimes we get the best.
That's true.
So it bees like that. But I respect all the NFL teams. I respect the.
No, you
I,
don't. You don't like them 49 and them dirty bird Eagles.
Well, I mean, I've hated them, but when your team when your
You
team is
respectfully
winning,
hate them, right?
yeah, respectfully hate them.
Yeah,
I used to
exactly.
hate you guys too, man. I used to hate the Steel Curtain, man. I was
Uh,
like because it was
you
just an
should.
awesome team.
You should.
Yeah, I did.
I get it. It's like I don't like hate's a strong word, but they're pretty close into that category of the word hate.
Sports vernacular, you know what I'm saying? That's what we
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. But anyway, Penn State
hmm
managed to win after losing previous week, which was good for them.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
hmm
they didn't really play anybody that again, the reason I have issue with college football is, they have all these other colleges that have great teams, right? These other colleges, but they just don't get the money, they don't get the recruiting, they don't get the players. and they're expected to perform against these schools. They get the best players, get all the money.
Yeah, but one thing about it, look at it like this: when those little schools play a big school, it draws a lot of money for that institution. You know, so they get a part of the
Sure.
proceeds,
Yeah,
more money than
absolutely.
they would get.
I don't, and again, I understand that to a certain extent, except they take the money and they pay ridiculous salaries to the staff and they still don't win.
You can't win without the players. You know what I'm saying? You got to
I'm
get the
just saying,
players.
you don't
Yeah,
have, if you don't, I mean, you're playing at football levels that's not even attainable because you don't have the budget, you don't have um, what is it, the prestige,
hmm
if you will, that you get these great football players. They're not wanting to go to, I don't know, pick a college in the middle of nowhere
yeah,
that, you know, a lot of those guys that are playing football have aspirations to go on to play in the NFL. And if they're any kind of good, they have a good chance of doing it.
yeah. But if you got, let's just say, use Georgia as an example. If Georgia got a plethora of quarterbacks, right? Only one can play at a time. So being that they open up this portal thing,
Oh
that
yeah.
kid can go to another school. He can transfer, go to another school. He just want to play. He want to show his wares. He don't want to sit on the bench for 2 or 3 years. And
No.
then, he ain't trying to do that. He's trying to get out there and then he can make money. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I
So
mean, I totally get the whole thing, but I mean, the purpose
mhm.
of college was education
Well,
first
it
and football
was.
second. And I think it's not quite
It's
that
not that.
anymore. Yeah. I
It's
think
not that.
this is it's like being you go and do an internship or an apprenticeship with, to learn a trade, and that's part of it.
hmm Yeah.
Anyway, but
Yeah.
it's exciting. I
Yeah,
didn't
these
really
guys
watch
got
much.
just like you sent your daughters to school. They
Mhm.
probably can't went left high school with a very high GPA, right?
They did.
Football players ain't doing that. They got a GPA and running that football or
Some
catching the
do. There
pass.
are exceptions, but you're probably right. Majority wise, they're probably rated. They have to maintain a certain grade point average. I
And I'm
know
sure
that.
they got help maintaining their GPA. They're
Maybe.
taking
Look, I'm
basket
not.
weaving.
Oh, I got not. Yeah, are you insinuating that football players are dumb
I'm saying they're not as challenged to their academia. How about
to
that?
maintain some kind of?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know,
They're
man.
they're objective. You know what I'm saying? They're more concerned about their profession as they should be, you know?
Hmm. Sorry about
You
that.
got really close to the
I know I did. I was. My dog is growling at something out the window. So
squirrel.
you know how the trailer is really low to the ground, so she can see the
You
window.
need new blocks on that thing.
I know
That's
I
what it
need.
is. You got to get better, bigger blocks.
They might be settling. I don't know.
That might be what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I noticed you cleaned up a little bit. I don't see that wire going across the wall anymore.
Yeah,
You
my
must,
wife made me. The wife told me to take it down. She said it's bad enough to live in a trailer. We don't need this wire hanging down.
yeah, everybody ain't got to know it, right?
Yeah, that's right. So
Facts.
I'm surprised she hasn't made me put one of those. I probably will put one of them little um, cable hider things. You stick to the
Yeah,
wall
in the wall. I got it. I got one of them for my trailer.
because that's where the port is for the internet, and supposed to be able to put
Mm-hmm.
a TV up on the wall there, and I just haven't done it yet. I got to. I don't know. I don't know. She has all these little pieces of furniture. So
Yeah.
I don't know how good the walls are on this trailer. I think they're making them with 2x4s now. I don't know. I don't know what they're
It's
doing.
particle board. Mine's particle board.
Yeah,
That sucker get wet and start bowing out.
it's just falling over. Anyways, but anyway,
Yeah.
so we moving on a little bit here because I don't know how long we've been talking.
Yeah.
Um, the election is over. You went and made it to the voting polls like I did,
Yeah, I did. I
and
made it to the voting poll. I voted twice in my entire 60 years of existence.
I
And
voted a few more. I voted a few more times than that, but not many because I think I remember doing an absentee in the military, but who knows if it went anywhere, if it ever got, where it's
Yeah.
supposed to,
I might have done that when I was in England. I don't know if it made it to where it's supposed to. There's a final destination. They used to
Yeah,
push for you to vote when you was overseas.
yeah.
Back in the 80s and 90s. Well,
Even,
80s.
even, I was overseas in North Dakota, which is, they're out there, man. Pretty
Yeah,
desolate, you know.
yeah. It's a remote by
It's changed
definition.
over since well, it'll be 40 years since I first stepped onto that moon, um,
Jeez.
in January.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, where am I? I mean, I didn't grow up in the country. I grew up in the city. The last few years lived in the country, and it changed my whole, like, this is life living in the country. Living in the city was nice thing about it was the convenience, the
Mhm.
close proximity to spend your money, right?
You don't even seem like a city person.
I know. Well,
That's
I try
me
my hardest.
stereotyping.
Yeah, but you got to think, I was 16 years of my life I lived in pretty much well, I say that. It was inner city, probably up to fourth grade. So how old are you in fourth grade? I don't know,
Yeah, about
9, 10,
10.
whatever.
Yeah, let's go there.
Um, and then we did the suburbia, I guess, but
Hmm.
still, it um, wasn't that far disconnected, but it was
Hmm.
more at the time, so we only lived there. I lived there till I was 16. So what is that?
Yeah.
I think it was it's about 7 years we lived there, 7, 8
Yeah.
years,
Okay.
something like that. It's not, anyways, I was 16. We moved out. Was I 16? I just turned 16.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was junior in high school. Starting that summer before junior high school, we moved out to the country. And
Hmm.
dad and my
Yeah.
brother lived in a trailer for, a couple years. And
Like them
yeah,
trailers nice.
it was great. I learned how to hay and, dirt roads and
Hmm.
yeah, but
Yeah.
either
Yeah, I
way,
get it.
but we, we got the boat. It was great.
It's a big old red wave going across the land.
I mean, I would, I mean, I have to talk about this boat, the boat numbers, right?
Yeah.
My cousin put me onto this, Rick.
Hmm.
I know he'll watch the show eventually. Um, he put me onto this. Where did he originally, so this has been a couple days now. I'm sure they've counted more votes, but there was like, where did the votes go, right? Total number of votes.
Man.
Yeah. So, like in 2004, total votes 121 million and some change, right? In
Hmm.
2004, 2008, 129 million and some, almost 129.5, but million votes, right? And you see an increase every year, an increase. Pretty
Hmm.
much every year except 2012, there was 126 million total votes, right?
Hmm.
In 2016, now I'm not verifying that this is 100% accurate, but
Hmm.
2016, 128.8 million votes.
Hmm.
A slight increase from 2012, right? And
Right.
then 2020,
Huge.
155.5 million votes in 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Wel-
2024,
Welcome to the
100
dark
and yeah, 140.8 million votes. That's like not quite, what, 14 million votes. Where did them votes go, right? And why was there such a spike in votes? And then, it goes boom, boom.
Welcome to
What do
my
you think?
side, brother.
It's a
You know what I'm
conspiracy.
thinking. You
I'm
already
telling
know.
you,
It was a recepe for election theft because we had the pandemic going. A lot of folks had to mail in their votes, some kind of electronic means of getting the votes in. And there was a lot of voter fraud, bro. That's just it is what it is.
I mean, they found I early on I heard somewhere I can't remember where, but they had found 200,000 duplicate votes somewhere.
Hmm. Hey, it was millions of those voters like that. Dead people was voting. People, babies was voting. Everybody,
I mean, what are
everybody was voting, man.
I mean, I think, but the thing is, um, I think currently, I think Trump's around 70 million, 74 million votes.
Hmm.
I don't know. Last I saw that she was at 69 million something.
Okay, I mean that's overall vote. You know what I'm saying? That's
That's
what I'm
in,
thinking.
it's somewhat in line with, I mean, there's a still, even so from when Trump got elected the first time in 2016, it was still pretty consistent. It was a little bit of an increase, 128 million point eight, 128.8 million votes, where the previous election was 126.8. There was like 2 million extra votes, right?
Hmm. Yeah, that's okay. It fluctuates a little bit, a little flux, but
Mhm.
but when Biden won, that was abnormal. You know, ironically, I was just speaking to one of my other buddies about the same thing. He had a little chart he showed me,
Yeah,
and I just laughed. I was just like, I just started, I just laughed. I was like, we know what happened right here.
we do know, but there's so many election deniers, and I almost kind of want to be one myself.
Uh-huh.
You know, you got to explain to
Well,
me why such a big difference in the votes numbers. You know,
mhm.
you can't tell me that they motivated over 10 million more people to go and vote for
Yeah.
brain dead Joe Biden,
I don't think even
from his
Obama
basement.
generated. Yeah, I mean, he gave when Obama was running for president, they was getting mugs from everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure,
They
yeah,
was they was giving the
absolutely.
phones out. You know,
But
all
even
kind of stuff was
still,
going on.
even when they did that, Obama's numbers, that both of his elections were pretty close to the norm. There wasn't this
Yeah,
huge spike of, you know, from
yeah.
previous years.
That's what I'm talking. Yeah. Hmm. So something went amiss. They didn't want Trump. They didn't want
Oh,
Trump in
sure.
there. They
Oh, yeah.
really.
They wanted, yeah, the swamp. I want to use the word the swamp. I don't know who that is. I think it's kind of refers to establishment um, politicians and
Hmm.
corporations that are in there with their um, what do you call it, lobbyists and those kind of
Hmm.
people. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
I accused of being a bandwagon fan, right? But actually when
It's
Trump was
not an
running,
accusation. It's a fact.
no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just it's not a bandwagon fan. So when Trump was running for president the first time, right? He was on stage with about 12 other Republicans. It was a group, and everybody was doing their pitch. And he was just a real individual. You know what I'm saying? He had no political savvy. He didn't even speak like them. He wasn't articulate like those guys. He was just like, hey, the guy got small hands. You can't vote for a guy with small hands. This guy gets, I mean, he just insulted his way to the presidency, right? He just,
Yeah, it's a no. He did make a lot of sense in his
I mean,
policies
he
and
did. I
whatnot.
mean, I'm gonna get it. I mean, but
But you're right.
what
That was unheard of. Not
was
really.
unheard of? Nah, I've never heard of it.
I don't know.
The closest thing I can think of was when Reagan said that Carter, there you go again. And that was a big slogan. You know what I'm saying? When he threw that on homeboy, that messed him up.
hmm
Carter
Yeah,
couldn't rebound from that.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
So, but anyway,
Reagan
Trump, I
did
mean Trump,
joke. Yeah, Reagan did do some jokes, but he made fun of people.
yeah, he did, but not like Trump. Trump just
Not
went
like
per I
Trump.
mean
No,
yeah,
absolutely
definitely.
not. Not like
Yeah.
Trump, man. Did I show you did I show you the Soul Train episode where Trump was on?
I don't think I saw it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I don't,
you'll have, the racist, on Soul Train. He's got this mullet, man. He's skinny. And I was
Yeah,
telling the wife, I said that looks just his son Barron,
yeah,
tall, skinny dude. You know, Trump's pretty
hmm
tall as it is, but Barron is like
yeah.
his
He's up there.
youngest. Yeah. Uh,
But speaking of, we're speaking of election, and I told you I was like, hey man, I defected from the norm. Considering, like I said, I've only voted 2 times, so it's not a defection for me. But it
well,
is expected as I kind of want us everybody to kind of shed these titles, but as an African American, you're supposed to vote a certain way. You know what I'm saying? This is the party that's helping you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
sure.
So,
I mean, and there's
but
they
is
the
who?
problem is the Democratic Party has abandoned their um base, right? They've allowed to be taken over by this wokeisms and non-Christian lifestylers, if you will. Um, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that live in their little bubble. They could give a crap who's running. If they're on the Democratic ticket, they got the right person for it. They're voting for them. They don't even know they don't even care what their platform is.
hmm
I
I
mean, it really comes down to it.
I
Um,
sent my folks a video that this pastor
mhm.
I mean he
That
was
same one
having
you
Bible
sent.
study. Yeah, I sent it to you as
Yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah. And it was black. He was a black guy, black pastor, and he was just, going over some things. He was like, look, first of all, Jesus is your Lord. He's your king. All right.
Mhm.
But if you guys are going to get in the voting realm, try to vote according to the desires of your king. Right. So you can, and he pretty much hammered home that Kamala was not supporting the king, And so my
But she
mom
made
saw
some,
that thing.
yeah, she's
She
made
saw that
some,
thing and it kind of shook her up. She called, hey son, we need to talk about this video. I was like, okay.
mhm.
She was like, I didn't know all this was going on in the Democratic Party. I said, I didn't either. I didn't know. And she talked to her husband, which is my dad. They talked about it, and we had a long conversation about it last night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So mom is on the side of, hey, she says that stuff was on the ticket. This abortion and
Yeah.
rights and this. She says, she told me, she was like, look, I probably better not say this, but
But you don't
'cause
have to.
I have to turn it to, I have to get a ski mask and kill someone.
Yeah.
But
You don't
I
have
don't
to
want to put them.
divulge
I don't want to
anything
put
like
them in
that.
any jeopardy. But she's. There's a lot of things that was on there that she disagreed with. That was on the ticket. She was like, "No, I'm
Mhm.
not for that." You know what I'm saying? So,
But
so
she'd
yeah,
already voted, so it doesn't matter
it
if
was.
she
It
does.
didn't. It don't matter. But if she live another 4 years, she will probably vote. She'll be more. She'll watch what she's doing. I just put it like
Well,
that.
maybe, and I think I truly hope so. I hope a lot of people are saying this wokeisms are dead and all this stuff, and um,
Mhm.
I think it's a wake up call for the Democratic Party that I mean, you got people that were staunch Republicans. Tulsi Gabbard, her whole family are Democrat, right? Staunch Democrats that have left the party because of the way they're pushing their agenda, right? And this ain't about electric cars and the Green New Deal. It really goes deeper to more touching for a lot of voters, I think. Of course, it's my opinion, the world according to me. Um, there's a lot of issues, moral issues that people are just fed up with, is right. Um,
Mhm.
when you start
Yeah.
forcing people to have to agree, shake their heads and agree that this is right and this is whatever. People are just,
Yeah, that's right. I mean, hey, America wants to be free. They want choice. But when you start taking away choice like that,
oh yeah,
and
these people. I
and
mean, I watched The View the other day, one of their classic meltdowns, and she's just one of the one of the women on there. I don't know who she is. She was, I'm pretty sure it was her, was talking about how social media is unchecked with its language and needs to be censored and blah blah blah, allowing people to tell what their feelings, just like we're doing right here.
Hmm.
Um, and we're subject to being censored like anybody else on this platform.
Hmm.
We have certain rules we're not allowed to do or not allowed to say, but that's because we have to agree to be able to use this platform. But as an American, I can say it if I want,
Hmm.
whatever I want, but it's
Hmm.
always going to be consequences. Um,
Good man.
Especially if you're offensive, you're offending people,
Hmm.
so I
Yeah.
don't know.
This is like our show that we're doing. We would like to appeal to everybody, but I think everybody want to know your honest opinion.
Oh yeah,
Hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I believe. And if you disagree with what I believe, that's fine. You can come on here and you can say, hey man, you're wrong. I think you're wrong. Just be respectful. We're gonna be respectful to whatever your views are. And we're
hmm
gonna tell you, hey, this is why I think what I think. You know, this is a platform for you to come on and let's talk at ground level. I look at us as just regular people.
exactly.
You can tell we're not professional out here. You know what I'm saying? We
No,
just off the cuff kind of
I mean
guys.
we're trying to improve as we go. But
You can
it's
get
like
better.
we do this just for the fun of it, you
Yeah,
know. Just that,
yeah,
it's not like oh, we only got to do this a couple months and we'll be on easy street making all kinds of money, blah blah.
right.
No,
Yeah,
that ain't the case.
yeah.
I was a little disappointed. We had lost a subscriber. I don't
Mhm.
know, and we haven't really done anything. I don't know if it was one of them people, could
Yeah. Could have been Phil.
have been Phil. I don't know. Dang it, Phil. Um, but
Hey,
yeah.
we're gonna get that cat on here one of these days. Yeah,
Let's see. What I was looking. Um, Talking about more election drama
yeah.
is the congressional seats that are still votes are still being counted, for crying out loud. Um, Whatever, what is going on? How do we know the presidential one, whatever? It's like
Yeah. I
you
mean,
look,
that's
there's still,
just as important. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If you want some sustainability, you gotta have a team. You know what I'm saying? Now there's things that Trump can do. Okay, I'll just say this here. This just came to my mind. This was on TV yesterday, and it was like, will the troops support Trump and his endeavors to export illegal immigrants? Will they defect? There's like this can be chaotic. You know what I'm saying? I think they probably gonna support whatever he decides to do. One thing about whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you want security and you want more money in your pocket. And when you got 20 million individuals over here that's not legal and sucking up resources, you know what I'm saying? That's an issue. And even the
it,
most liberal friend I got is like, yeah, I think we should secure the borders, you know. And he's extremely left, but he
what
wants that
gets
protection.
me, what gets me is this has been an issue for many presidents before Trump, before Obama, right? They just can't figure. I mean, the bleeding heart in me says, yeah, why? I mean, you people have been immigrating to this country from day one, right? Why is it so difficult? What is the issue? Get them a path to citizenship. Don't just like,
Yeah.
huh? Thanks. Come on in. Here's your
But the
citizenship
thing
card.
about the way our country is constructed, though, you have to, and you know this, I'm just preaching to the choir at this point. There's a reason why we let so many in because there's so much the economy can handle. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You can't, we got to regulate this thing. You have too much of an influx. Shucks, man, taxes gonna go up, food, everything's gonna go up. So that's why we were regulating it in the first place. We don't care if you're coming from Africa, Mexico, Brazil, wherever you're coming from, Europe, come on
Yeah.
in. But we gotta we like you if you want to have a party, you know what I'm saying? You got your guest list or whatever, 50 people. What are you gonna
Yeah.
do if 200 monks show up? You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're gonna try to regulate. Wait, man, I don't have enough food for you guys. You know what
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
saying? You gonna try to feed these bad boys? Hey, baby, you got to go and buy a side of beef and a hog. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a drain on your personal economy. You know what I'm saying? So you know what your budget is. You know how many you can invite. You want to keep your budget to a certain place. So you invite 50 people. You can sustain that. Might even have a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
little bit more for the 50 that's there. So it's the same thing. What you letting just untold millions of months come over here. Come on, man. Look,
Yeah.
we
Well,
we maybe we can handle 2 million people. You know what I'm saying? Let's get them. We can get them all vetted. We got the money to do the background checks, get them IDs, and infuse them into our country. But you just letting them over in droves, you can't. No, come on. That's why boats sink. Too much water get in it. Yeah, boat. You buy a fishing boat, you expect it to sustain a little bit of water if it gets in there. There's
mhm.
a limit. Get too much water
there,
in there,
there
you're
is a
going
limit. You're
down.
right.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not against any. I'm a people person. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, like I
With
said, I mean, there's somewhere in my past family tree line, whatever. Someone
yeah,
came here. I don't know who. I don't have
yeah.
no idea who it was.
Mhm.
Because I'm here. I
Yeah.
was born here. I'm an
Yeah.
American. I was
Yeah.
indoctrined. I was indoctrined to be an American. I read I had to recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag every day, probably until high school. I don't know if I did it in high school.
I know we did in elementary, but after that,
Element, yeah, that's your
yeah,
indoctrination into the
yeah.
builds
To America.
patriotism and love of
Hmm.
country. And these people that don't like their country, they don't like this country. They can piss off and leave as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Um, I have no
But
time for you.
people like this country. Yeah, obviously, look at all the people that's coming over here. Bad boys want to be, they want America as it is. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what people are saying about America,
Hmm.
those folks still want to come here. Oh, they're racist. Their crime is epic. Black people, black. We don't care about none of that. We want to get over here to America. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
they're coming, and they're coming in droves.
Well, that's the
They
thing.
realize
You
it's
got all the yeah, got all them people there. They just live to have something to whine about. Um, the crime, whatever.
and the whining people though. If you notice, Facebook, there are people, there are people in the middle class. Yeah, you probably got some rich people, but they whine on another platform, highfalutin platforms, Twitter or
Mm.
something.
Yeah,
But
X or yeah, those ones
yeah,
that I'm not on X. I probably don't think I'll ever be on that platform because it seems to me like you got to be involved every day. Facebook's hard enough for me to keep.
yeah, I barely do it.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
YouTuber. Yeah, I'm a YouTube guy. But yeah, I
Now, if
mean,
this
going
was
back.
if I was doing this to make a living, I'm
Mhm.
not. I'm just doing it just to share my thoughts and
Yeah,
experiences with people.
yeah,
They can watch if they want. If they don't, they don't.
choice. That's right. So hey, that's how I feel about it. America, I think is doing great. I don't know the immigration policies of Great Britain or Russia or China. Nobody's trying to beat down the walls to get into China, right? You're
Not that
never
I'm
going to
aware
see.
of.
You're never going to have a white president in China or a black one. You know what I'm
It's
saying? Or an Indian one.
gonna be Chinese.
That was going to be Chinese. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You're going to be German if you're going to be the prime minister over here. That's just the way we do things. But over here, hey, America has the great melting pot, as they say. You know,
Yeah.
as a Black American, the history started out over here. Most of us, our ancestors probably were slaves, and you went from slavery to Jim Crow to equal rights to finally get to this freedom. And now you had a black woman as vice president. You done had a black man as president. You know what I'm saying? You've only had 47 freaking presidents
Not
in a
quite.
nation,
We're
huh?
not quite. We're good.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Not
We have
quite.
elected 47.
We've elected 47. You know what I'm saying? And some of them twice. You know what I'm saying? So it's a
Yeah.
privileged position. You're in a nation where you're a minority, and that's what America is like, kind of like the lottery in a sense. Everybody got you can win. You can win.
America.
America.
We got about so we got about 3.5 minutes before we gotta say
Time
adios.
flies.
It does fly. You're like, oh, we ain't got enough time. Um, but you're right. How can you be such a racist country when you've had a black president?
Hmm.
I don't know if I want to say that um, Kamala's black. I don't know. She
I'm
kind of
gonna
be. I mean,
stamp that girl as black.
because I think I mean she see and again the only reason I say that is because I don't believe in that construct of you know oh just because you have a black ancestor you're automatically black. I don't necessarily buy into that. Same with Barack Obama. It's like I don't make those rules.
Shoot.
Just me personally, right?
Me.
Yeah,
There's some white in me, bro.
yeah.
You all this time you thought I was black, didn't you?
No,
You
I
didn't
knew
know.
different.
You knew.
You told because you told me. You made sure to let me know.
I'm being funny right now.
No, I know, I
But
know.
for real, but there's I have some black and some white ancestry. You know what I'm saying? Somebody uh got together, they loved each other, or whatever the situation was, and
Whatever it was,
voila.
yeah.
Yeah.
The,
But it's
the
that.
bloodline was created, right?
Yeah, it's only one bloodline, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not
yeah.
like
I was watching a show. What do we got? We got like a minute 50 that we had. I was gonna share it with you, and I didn't. It was about the Ark of the Covenant that they had found it. This guy had found it back in the 80s, I think it was, and he had sent the
where
blood.
is it?
There was some blood where it was right over where the Jesus was
Yeah.
crucified.
I've heard that story before. And we'll talk
Yeah,
about that if you want
yeah,
next time we get on. Like, we definitely got enough
yeah.
time
It
to
was
get in
something to
there.
think about. But
Yeah.
anyways, I hate having a crappy ending to a show. I
Hmm.
I don't know. Is this a show or is this just a conversation? I don't know, but
Conversation.
conversation. But anyways, I hope everybody enjoyed. Please, if you got any comments, leave bloop them down there in the little box
Mhm.
down there and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I got my staples, Brock, my cousin Rick. I don't know. I don't. Those are about the only two that really comment regularly. Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah,
You know.
appreciate you guys, man. I went on
Yeah,
there,
we really do
like their
appreciate you.
comments.
My again, I want to go off on a thing. Got less than a minute. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'm with here my cohort in crime over here, Bug,
Yeah.
aka Ernie. And
AK Ernie.
yeah. But we're out here. We'll catch you on the next one. What you got, Bug?
That's it, man. Just echo your sentiments, man. Hey, can't wait. You guys drop something in the comment box, subscribe, all that
All
good
right.
stuff. Give us some material.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.